darkness, my old friend.
I am Michael Monson, and this is To the Neon Gods They Made. It's a photo exhibition by myself and my friend Tony Flanagan.
The exhibition title is To the Neon Gods They Made, and throughout growing up I had visited the city, but it was always like, you know, it was a place where family lived, but at the same time it was that crazy big city, right? And you do see construction, and you know, you just sort of figure what everybody's been talking about, that, oh, these things get built, you know, like it's amazing, like just wait 6 months from now, we're gonna go to this casino opening, it's gonna be amazing.
It's been close to 2 years since we actually photographed the images. We thought that people were driving by these buildings daily, they noticed them, and they thought, okay, it's another building in Las Vegas that's in construction, it'll probably be finished soon. After a while, you keep driving and it stays the same and stays the same. And so we noticed that these buildings were not going anywhere, that they were staying in the same state of construction. Cranes weren't moving, nothing was happening to the buildings at all. So you know, we got the idea to go around and photograph them and in the state that they were. And some of them are still in the exact same position. Cranes are still in the exact same position. They look exactly the same, no change.
We were at a photo competition for one of my students, and this one student is like, oh, did you hear about this one type of photography? You actually don't need lights for this process. This HDR, which is just high dynamic range imaging, it really just requires you to have a few different exposures of the same scene or the frame, and then using a couple of programs, merging those together to sort of get the best of each exposure to come out. And so I think the great thing is that these buildings really reflect a lot of the light for the most part. We live in a pretty bright city, and so even at night, we had a lot of luck.
And that's why this was probably the best process to photograph these images. There's no flash, we're not lighting the buildings ourselves, it's the light from the city, from the neon gods that already exist, that are sort of lighting these that will never be lit for themselves. To the Neon Gods They Made is a title of the show. It's a Simon and Garfunkel Sound of Silence reference. Basically just the idea of Vegas is a neon city, and we create these big neon gods, and they are there to be worshipped by tourists, by locals, and these were neon gods that were supposed to be, that kind of never are going to be. So, and then also the idea of the sound of silence. These buildings are silence. We filmed them or photographed them there's no people, there's nothing happening with them. They're just sort of sitting stagnant. Some are skeletons, some actually have walls and windows, but hollow inside. So they're actually very silent structures.
One of the stories that was really interesting was that we were photographing the St. Regis condo complex that was supposed to go up. It's situated right between the Venetian and the Palazzo. And while we were trying to get different angles for that, we were set up going to do the shot, and of course we got called up by security, and they were like, oh yeah, you can't be here, you know, like you can't be here with this tripod, it's like some sort of safety hazard. So it's interesting, like those kind of run-ins.
This is the third exhibition of the actual images. This is the first time we've had them in this size. We've blown them up to 33 by 44 inches, and yeah, we're excited to show it off to people at this size, and hopefully the bigger size will have a bigger impact.
The exhibition is running at the Winchester Cultural Center from now until January 20th, 2012, so we hope that you come down and check it out. Thanks.